you. His stuff is in all my pictures. I'm
Yeah.
taping it out.
Yeah, he doesn't have any affiliate programs or anything like this. So. And I didn't hear about him. I mean, any activity. Maybe I didn't wasn't looking, but there's no activity on that side. No.
He doesn't really advertise anywhere, does he?
Yeah. I think he has pretty good, solid market. So.
Yeah, he used to post on Fred's site all the time.
Yeah.
Until I think Fred banned them for something or another.
Yes. Actually, I did it. It was my post where they start. It was my post about flash duration, color, kind of stuff on different. Well, it was Einsteins and other strobes, and they were kind of start talking. I didn't even follow the discussion because it went too far.
Right.
And at the end, Paul was banned.
Wow.
I said, Paul, sorry, I didn't mean, but well, it's my fault anyway. He just too emotional sometimes. Okay, so we are online. This is Studio Photography Insights Google Plus Hangout with me, Alex Koloskov, Dave Nietzsche, and many great photographers, which will be introducing themselves right now. Yeah, Dave, it's something new. We didn't do it before, but I want short introduction from each of participants, just like few words about, because people may be changing, and I think it's good for viewers and for us.
Yeah, sure.
So let's start from left to right. Alexander, hi. I didn't see you. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
So most I'm a university student. I've actually been quite interested in Alex's stream, just in necessarily ensuring how to pull off some of the really more technical photos. Like there's the one that really comes to mind of the Windex and the and trying to get the blue light on when it's pouring out. So I've taken an interest more or less on that side. I've done some photography in my courses. But I'm not a new media particular student. I'm more towards informatics. But I'm interested in more or less a lot of the sort of the tricks and sort of illusions behind how to actually make an image look much better than you could do in real life without using Photoshop, for example.
I see. Well, hopefully it will be interesting for you. Okay, thank you. Dave?
Hi, I'm Dave. I take a picture or two here or there. I don't know, I've got a lot of thoughts in my head, and I just try to put them onto a sensor. God, I don't know what else to say more than that, except I enjoy doing this every week. Love all the guys that we hang out with. Gotten to know a few of them now, and it's just a ton of fun. One thing I want this to do is to just, for everybody to sort of see what we do and how hard it is. And to appreciate people who bury themselves in their basements or just hide away in a studio. This is fun stuff, and it allows us to just say who we are and what we are. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Don?
Hello, my name is Don. I guess by my photography, I guess you would say I'm more of a portrait, beauty, headshot photographer. Just looking to learn to photograph items and products. So I'm very excited to be a part of this hangout and to learn. Hopefully I can get the courage up to show you some of the stuff that I've shot as far as products. I pinged on Alex over the weekend trying to do the speakers, and I was like, to the point, I give up. My comment to him was like, I'm going to just stick to headshots. But I'm very excited, and I've learned a lot. At this point, I'm not able to get the ideas out of my head and capture it by the sensor. So hopefully I can do that here soon.
Thank you, Don.
Great hangout.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
All right. I'm Jeff Creech. I guess last week was my first hangout that I actually joined, although I'd been watching for a while. But I guess in terms of photography, it's still it's not my 9 to 5. It's just a side gig for the most part, but primarily what I've shot in the past has been editorial photography for car magazines. I'm a big gearhead, so that's where I got my start in photography, and from there it's kind of shifted into where I really would like to pursue more commercial and product photography, but just need to find those avenues.
Right.
Hey, your stuff is great, by the way, man. I really appreciate it. It's good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Yeah, Bookshot was great last week.
Yeah, we'll see today's shot. I've already seen you. Probably.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I've withheld looking online, so.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. No?
I'm Noah Katz. Kind of an entrepreneur over the years. Picked up photography about 8 years ago. Kind of more serious about it the last couple years. Kind of learned about Alex about a year and a half ago. Been following his stuff. Once I discovered his Hangout, I think I missed maybe the first or second week, and I've been with you ever since. So I look forward to. I'm going to actually meet you next in 2 weeks actually, week and a half at the Google Plus conference. I'm looking forward to that. And like Don said, I just like him. I'm just trying to kind of find my niche. I'm not sure if I really like people shots or product shots, but over the last couple 2-3 months, I think products, I really like it. There's still a lot to learn though. Looking at Alex's and Dave's and all your guys' stuff, it really is amazing.
Thank you. No, I know you like brewing beer at home, right? True. Yeah, it's probably a cool thing. Yeah, I think we do it.
I got a Hefeweizen in there. Let's see if I can get it. There you go. It's right in the middle there. Little orange handle. I'll keg that this weekend.
That's cool. Yeah, I've seen it. It was on your blog, right?
Yeah, I put that on my blog too. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, Paul.
Thanks.
Sorry, I just realized I had my mic off. I'm Paul Bartel. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. My full-time gig is I work for a catalog pre-press company that mainly fashion catalogs we do work for, project management and quality control. I do get to do some retouching. I do some freelance retouching too, to a little extra money to afford my photography habit. So I stumbled onto Alex here a while ago, and I've really enjoyed, the couple of hangouts here. I think I've done 4 or 5 now. Just picking up all kinds of stuff. Really enjoy this forum. I think it's kind of reminds me of the old college days when we used to process our E6 slides, drop them in the carousel, and have the professor go through and critique them, and a blind critique kind of thing. But this is very cool. I love this forum.
Cool. Thank you, Paul. You?
Yeah, my name is Steve Savoy. Actually part-time photographer for now, looking to go full-time. Try to explore photography in as much domains that I can, product, people, whatever. And hanging out with Alex and Dave has boosted my creativity so much. Thank you guys for that. That's about it.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, thank you for being part. You've been doing great stuff and a lot of support. Okay, so our last week assignment was the audio speaker shot, kind of advertisement, product advertisement type of shot, and that's what we're going to discuss, critique, and talk about using the submissions. So let's start. I'm going to share my screen. And okay, here we are. First is Terry Krum. I think he's from Europe, right? So that's why he couldn't join us. But he do like almost every week, probably every week for a long time, assignments. So we got these 2 Dell speakers, and this is actually lighting setup. I will be pulling lighting setup as well next to the actual shot, so we'll see more. It will be more information for us. So here it's kind of they look good. They look good because the light in the edges. The only thing which I kind of first thought they too close and a lot of just room all around. I would move them apart a little bit. Then it's maybe just my style, but I like this gradient, this blue gradient on the bottom. But I usually do it, or prefer doing it, not only on the bottom, like on the table, but behind as well. Because this area, it's like, well, it will benefit from some sort of gradient on behind. I'm just going to show you, like an example, these two gradients. That was guest post on the Digital Photography School, but the idea is the same, right? We have a gradient on the ground, and another gradient, well, it's almost the same color, on the table and the background. So if we had something like this here, I think it will look cooler. That's my thoughts. Other than that, pretty good shot. Just pretty product shot. Dave, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly what you said. You know, get some of that blue going into the rest of the black background. The negative space in it sort of hinders it. So yeah, spread them apart. I'd like to see a little bit more detail in the shadow areas of the speakers themselves also. It would probably just help separate it from the background. I know the outlines look cool, but you know, you'd also like to see a little bit more detail in the shadow areas of the product itself. But yeah, like you, I like that blue. I think it works really well and would work even better if there was more of it going up into the shot itself, just to sort of, you know, give a little bit more space into the picture.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dave. Anyone want to contribute something?
Are the speakers that thin? You know, I can't really. They almost look somewhat two-dimensional because I can't really see a side. But I don't know if it's actually just that thin.
There might be some backing, but it does actually look like it sort of like, yeah, it just has sort of, those are the speakers and then they go straight up.
Yeah, if you look at the lighting setup, you see speakers, I think, pretty thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does look it.
Yeah, I always like to think. I'm in marketing. That's my 9 to 5. So I always come at things either from marketing or a art director's perspective. And I feel like if they are that thin, it's something you'd kind of want to showcase in the actual product shot itself.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But,
Like show one of the speakers sideways or something, or more profile, so you can.
Right.
Yeah, so one can be rotated more profile to see. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't think about it, but you're right.
Yeah, and probably the only other thing I'd like to say is, you know, okay, great product shot, but I think we all need to think a little bit more about that. We're also trying to maybe take it a little bit further than that. You know, try to maybe cross into my realm a little bit more. You know, something that makes you think and feel, that when people look at it, they can, instead of saying, ooh, a pretty picture, or ooh, a pretty product, maybe you can make them sit back and say, I remember that, or that happened to me, or, you know, in marketing, pretty is good, but being able to tie into people's emotions also is really good. So, you know, whereas I think we sort of go towards the whole ad shot thing here, but I think we always try to emphasize maybe a little bit more also. Whereas some of my thoughts probably aren't right to, you know, I'm sure Budweiser wouldn't really want to use one of my pictures, but, you know, just the ability to infuse emotion into a picture will always grab somebody. So while this is a neat shot of a couple speakers, there's really nothing there that's giving me a feeling. And I think that's something we all need to sort of strive for a little bit.
Agree, completely agree, Dave. Thank you. And actually, I want to kind of, from another perspective, saying I will say the same, but just many of us want to just do like a daily job of photography, right? And think about this. Product shots like this, great product shots being compensated probably 100 times less than advertising type of shots with a lot of stuff going on and, you know, like Dave was saying, with a lot of emotions. So just think about what would you like to spend your time and how much you got compensation for it, right? If you shoot like hundreds of like speakers like this per day, it's probably not really cool thing to do it for years and years, right? Not even speakers, but let's say any other, just product shots.
Sure.
And doing like once per week or once per month some cool advertising shot, that's probably, well, Bill Cahill can tell us about it. And he joined it. So from even from this perspective, we need to do more than just product shots. Okay. Let's jump to, no, it's yours, right?
That's mine, yeah.
Yeah, well, do we have the lighting? Yeah, we have the, well, great shot. I like the gradient, you know, I always love this kind of when it looks like this. Everything is pretty cool on here, and I even don't mind. First I said, you know, why I don't see that part? You know, it's kind of fine because we're showing the face of the speaker. But the only area with questionable area for me is right here. First I thought, oh, what is that? Then when I look at the lighting setup, I see that there is, well, unusual kind of subwoofer, right? But it's much more visible stuff there than we see on the picture, especially this corner. So that's where I will improve it. I will probably, we don't need much of the light there, but somehow I would add somewhere reflector, not big one, but to create, you know, maybe like several times less brighter than here, but to show that shape, that there is some, you know, so just more shape of that area.
That was probably the biggest, like, comment. That bottom area, is it a reflection? Is it part of the speaker? And yeah, I have to agree. And that light, by the way, the one on the boom is not part of the shot. I was trying to add a gradient or some color in the background. It didn't work out. So yeah, this was all off that one strip box on the left. And you can't really see it in this shot, but there's a diffuser panel. You can see that green clamp.
It's here, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a gradient there, and then between that diffusion and the strip box, you see it looks like a piece of white foam core. I was just trying to flag part of the speaker because I just wanted it on the front. The cabinet part of the speaker is really kind of crappy.
I see. Yeah, you know what I would do? I would probably add little reflector somewhere from that side of the speaker. Almost like in front of the camera at the bottom. It can be a little one, maybe even like a piece of foil, so you can kind of direct light. Because as I understand, you don't want to show any of this of side panel. So to make it just foil, which can grab some light and put it there. And
yeah, or a little piece of foam core or something, just to bounce a little bit of the light back.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I just kind of yeah, when you mentioned last week, Alex, you said something about that how it could look like jewelry, and my first thought was, you know, when you flip through a magazine, you see like high-end speakers. You really only see the front face and maybe the cones. You don't see the cabinets too much. So that was where I kind of got my idea from.
Just kind of curious. Did you have you mentioned you were planning to use a gradient in the background. Were you trying to use a different sort of color, or are you just trying to go for more the gray, sort of white?
I have a yellow gel on that strobe. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
but
I would use gray probably. The yellow won't probably work right now. The gray maybe, because here it's no color, right? So you shouldn't add any color to this because it's perfect monochrome shot basically, right?
Yeah, I really like the lighting in the shot. I think it's cool. But the dark area to the left of the speaker, you know, coming from sort of an art tip, what if there was something, I'm not sure what, but what if there was something in that area that was really, really muted, that was maybe something that you can emotionally tie into the speaker that was really, really dark, and maybe you could see just a little bit. That might actually, because sometimes with really huge negative space like that, it can really take away, it can pull the eye away from the subject. So maybe if there was something you could have put in there that people might look at and just say, what's that? There's something. You know, I think to like Metallica's Black Album. You know, there are these lightly, or one of the Outlaws albums, which was all black, and their faces were almost ghost images in it, that you could barely see them, but it drew you into the picture and kept your eye in the frame. So I don't know what that thing would be, but maybe just something to just, instead of the person's eye going from the speaker to that dark area to out of the frame, that it would have been from the speaker to what the hell is that, pointing them back into it.
Right. I don't know if you saw my post yesterday. I originally posted this one and another rendition with musical notes appearing like they're coming out of the speaker, and I've had lots of feedback that it probably should come out of the cone, which now the more I'm thinking about it, yeah, it should. But they kind of trailed outside of the cone, and they went off the left side of the frame.
Yeah, and that might be cool if it was really dark.
Right.
You know, just 10 points higher than the background itself. Just so people would say, I think there's something there, but I'm not sure, and it would keep them right into the center of the frame.
Okay.
But I really like the lighting on that thing, man. I think you know, of all the shots this week, that's probably my favorite lighting of a subject. It's moody. It's dark, but it's still got some bright points in it. I really like that a lot. That was great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Dave.
Yeah, the gradients from the highlights to the shadows are they're really nice and smooth and superb.
Yeah, that was my thought. I'm a sucker for mid-tone to three-quarter tone to shadow. If those areas are really nice and smooth and have a great mood to them, you'll always get me with it. Always. It's really great.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
And thanks, Tim, by the way, for that poster mock-up. That was really cool.
Yeah, I thought I'd have fun with it. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know, it was just such an easy photo to work with, I thought, because I saw it. I'm like, you know, if I were an art director and I directed a photo shoot with you as a photographer, and you came up with that, I'd be like, yeah, I know exactly what to do with that. So, you know, I thought I'd try something, and you know, yeah, the horizontal one was working out better because it sort of used the negative space that you created, but then I added more to it. Did you guys talk about the reflection at all?
Yeah, we hit on that before you got in. Just probably some form of a reflector down at the bottom, just to maybe suck a little light into that bottom part to give it. Because I honestly, that was the first thing I really saw. I was like, is that a reflection of some sort?
Right,
What is
right.
it? So a little bit more light at the bottom would have definitely helped.
Yep.
Alrighty. Excellent. So let's move to the next
I don't
one.
know if you guys saw. I put the mock-up that Tim did on my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
That is
good.
actually cool.
Yeah, that's the horizontal one.
I don't have the
I mean the vertical one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the horizontal one's on the forum, so if you guys want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Let's jump to. This is my another favorite. Great shot. It's amazing. Really, Steve, it's yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And idea and how you got it. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Steve, this sucks. I hate you. No, man. This is a great shot. I can't even begin to say anything about it. It's a great picture. It really is.
Is that a real reflection, or did you Photoshop that?
That's not a reflection. That's the bottom half of the speaker.
Oh, okay.
So
I was wondering
speaker-
how you.
Oh, I see. So it's basically it's the top of the speaker only, right? With this middle.
Yeah, that's the middle part, and yeah, you can see part of the bottom.
Well,
Yeah,
this
Steve,
case,
I
that's
think I actually
cool.
have an older version of this this speaker. Yeah, I think I have an older version of this, and this one looks a little cooler.
but Steve, why didn't you shoot the more with? Because really, it looks like a reflection, almost like a reflection. Well,
I didn't shoot more because I wanted to emphasize on the smoke, on the little cones, the smoke coming out, and probably if I took a bigger part of it,
you've gone.
it would have looked awkward a little bit.
But what I think's great about it, though, is I think it's great that you didn't, because we're all sitting here thinking it's a reflection of some sort, and it's not. The only possible thing I can say is the crap on the right border, that little white area that's coming through.
This little piece
yeah,
of
yeah, just get rid of that.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing I could possibly say about this.
Agree.
The blues in this are great. Not just in the smoke. I mean, the cone, that little light blue that's coming through. You know, once again, hit me with mid-tone, three-quarter, and shadows, and I'm in. And this is really well done. I like this shot a lot.
Steve, do you have lighting setup for this?
No, but I can explain it a little bit.
How many lights? Yeah, just like in general.
Excuse me
One.
1 second, guys.
Just one, yeah.
Yeah, I have just one SB600 flash, which was placed on the left side, pointing at the reflector. I had one reflector in my mouth, in front, and I had another reflector on the opposite side, on the right side, and that's basically it. And I took separate shots for the smoke. Like
Well,
So there's 3 shots then, or?
it's 3 shots.
Three,
One
yeah.
for each smoke cones, and one for the speaker.
Steve, did you try to turn like some bass, I mean the speaker on with some very low music while?
Yeah, that was the main idea I had,
Uh-huh.
like having the smoke come up in front and blasting sound, but it made too much of a mess of the smoke.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because the smoke, as soon as you have a little bit of wind, it just goes crazy all around. So you have to really be patient. Without any wind, you almost have to hold your breath not to disturb the smoke.
Yeah, smoke and I are mortal enemies. I remember I was shooting a picture once, and I was trying to get smoke, and I've got this perfect setup, and everything's going great. The lights are perfect. The smoke is wafting beautifully, and the air conditioning freaking comes on in the room.
Oh.
The crap is blowing everywhere, and I was done for the night after that. It was just horrible.
But basically what I did for the smoke shots, I had some incense sticks, which I inserted inside those little cones.
Right.
And then when there was enough smoke, I took it out and took a shot of the smoke coming back out.
Yeah, I found incense works really, really well. I've got a couple shots with smoke, and light reacts to incense smoke. Now, I don't know why, but you can pull all these weird colors out of it. I've got one shot of an apple with a whole bunch of smoke going around it, and there's blue streams and white streams, and there's actually some sort of brown stream coming out of it. And people have asked me a million times, was that photoshopped? And it's like, no, it's just the way the smoke reacted to the light that I shined on it. So I love using incense for smoke. It works really well.
What's great too is, yeah, I used incense. And what's great, if let's say you put a colored gel on your flash, if you leave part of it without the gel on, well, it's going to do a gradient between the blue of the flash and the color.
Right, sure. Sure.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I remember that X-rated liquor shot with a lot of, well, it was not smoke, but same idea, right? Oh, it highlighted it with gel, red gel. Okay, thank you guys. Let's jump to the next one. Well, doesn't have name, so sorry. Well, there is a name.
Whose shot was this?
Holdaway.
Okay, hold on.
Keith's?
Yeah, Keith.
Yeah, that was Keith's shot. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And there is a light and setup. Well, it's a little small, but anyway. It's cool. Oh, the only thing I kind of not sure what the glass is doing this. I mean, the sunglasses. Kind of. I understand maybe the whole concept, but I think it's too much on that shot. At least on this crop, it just too many stuff is going on.
Kind of like a
So
lifestyle shot or something.
yeah, well, yeah. But still, if you take out sunglasses, I think it will look maybe a little bit different angle. It will benefit.
Well, you know, if you actually flip those sunglasses, so right now I sort of see the sunglasses as pointing out of the frame. If you rotate them and put them into the frame, and then got rid of that highlight on the headphone piece on the top, cool shot. Yeah, and definitely a lifestyle piece. You know, the whole sunglasses, the iPod thing going on. I do like the way the light is controlled through the whole thing, though. With the exception of that one highlight, that's definitely got to be burnt out or however removed. But I sort of like this shot. You know, it was engaging. You know, as far as an ad shot goes, I wouldn't look away from it. So, you know, it sort of worked for me.
Yeah.
You can see it on the playlist has the cheap sunglasses. I think that's kind of what he was trying to tie it with.
Oh, you know, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Okay, yeah, now I'm totally engaged. Okay. I need liner notes for all this stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I didn't see it. It's funny. Yeah, but you're right, Dave. It's interesting. But you know, for lifestyle shot, maybe it shouldn't be on the black, because like some glass, maybe it should be some real stuff going on around. Maybe like blue sky with sand, you know, and some ocean. I don't know. It just.
I'm almost thinking it would be best to go with green sunglasses for that, just because of the green note in the phone. Like, be able to tie it in, because you see the green on there, and be like, it would probably stand out a bit more.
Mm-hmm. The green color. Yeah.
And then that would draw people hopefully into the cheap sunglasses part. And sort of thematically linking them. Right now, it's just sort of, the glasses are there, but they sort of almost feel like they're just there just to fill up the frame. Which I mean that's one thing I like about this photo, is that you don't really feel like no part of the frame isn't not being used, but it feels almost a little bit stuffed at this moment, I feel.
Right. Yeah. Interesting thoughts. Okay, let's move to the next one. We still have a lot. Full shots. Tim, it's yours, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Tim, did you just have that laying around?
and like empty room for this to show.
Holy crap!
Or you move it to the studio, the whole picture, just for the shot. They probably quite heavy, right?
Yeah. Well, each one is about 35 pounds or so. It's not that heavy, but yeah, just lying around. I guess you could say that. See, I work at a studio, Imagineering Studios, and we do more than just photography. We're into recording and videography as well, and so we have this whole, surround sound setup so that when we do videos and we, finally cut them together, we can demo them in front of the client. So these speakers are studio speakers, and my photography studio is literally it's the next doorway over. So I moved it into the photography studio and shot it there.
Nice. Well, pretty cool shot. The only thing I can kind of say about it, what I would probably improve, the bottom areas somewhere here, maybe a little bit more light on there, maybe, because like, but well, still, or maybe a little bit less light here. If it's dark like this, maybe that the gradient should not go that that too much, because it's kind of fine when it's losing a little bit. I mean, going to almost complete darkness here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, probably I would have darker area here, or like I said, or highlighted there.
Yeah, I was looking at it again this morning, and I was thinking, well, maybe if I had put a white foam board behind the entire setup, and hit that with like a speed light or something, and some of that light could have spilled into the cracks between the speakers.
Oh, like backlight complete? Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this sort of raises the question, what do you want to take, an art picture or an ad picture? As an art picture, this is sort of cool, sort of moody, sort of dark, but for an ad shot, wouldn't you want to show the product more? The dark areas I love, but, as far as would the manufacturer want to use this as a ad shot? I'm not sure, because it's not really showing the product as much as it should. Personally, I love it. This is the way I'd shoot it. This is great. How tall are those things, man?
The taller ones are 57 inches tall, so they come up just above my shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
They're electrostatic speakers. I don't know if you're familiar with those, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they put out some amazing sound.
Yeah.
And this is how you shoot them, right? It was it was one shot, right? But you
Yeah.
you
One
shot
shot.
here just like one light source, and you add another one, and then third one,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there are 4 light sources, one for the background, and then 2 strip boxes on either side, and then 1 soft box. It was maybe like 4 feet away from the whole setup.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but the tricky part about it was just getting everything in the right position. I had my brother helping me, and Matt was, helping me like move things around, and we're examining each shot, like, oh, there's too much space here, there's too much space there, and
I see.
just getting it
The
symmetrical.
symmetry in it's pretty cool. What I really sort of appreciated were also the shadows on the bottom left and bottom right. Sort of even. It's the kind of stuff I notice in shots like this. If the shadow on the bottom left was going out further than the one on the bottom right, that would have bothered me, that kind of thing. But there's some pretty good symmetry in this, and that's really important. At least I think it is.
Yeah, we actually measured everything. So, my lights our lights were the same distance, from the outside speakers and from the wall and everything. It was, so we tape measured everything and made sure everything was, as symmetrical as we could get it.
And Tim, here you had one more light somewhere, right? It's not shown here, but for the front.
Right.
Of this.
Right.
Or reflector? Was it light or reflector?
It was a light.
I see. Okay.
So here at the top, you've got the background light label, and then strip box on left, strip box on right, and then the larger picture to your right there has the small soft box.
Okay. This is okay. I see now.
Yeah, if that was a reflector, it would have had to be about a 14-foot reflector. That thing is huge, man.
Yep.
I have a 6-foot reflector, but
Excellent shot, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah, it really is. Really is.
Okay, let's jump to next one. That's funny one. He's got It's really funny. Yeah, it's hard to judge it by like a product kind of product photography perspective, but it's cool. I'm not sure about second CD. I would kind of imagine the frog sitting on a CD with those earbuds, which is cool, but I don't know why he put it there. I mean, he put it there. But, well, it looks cool. I would probably play with lighting more to add some drama, but I like the concept, and yeah, nice frog.
Yeah, the top CD I'd probably darken a bit, just to make the frog jump a little bit more. But, you know, really, when you look at a shot like this, this is purely about emotion. You know, when it opens up, everybody laughed, and I'm sure that's what the photographer was going for. You know, so cool stuff. Cool stuff. It made me laugh when I first looked at it also.
It would have been cool to see the earbuds maybe on the sides of the frog, maybe.
Yeah, I actually commented on this one on the forum, but just from a technical standpoint, there are some things, you know, it's just a little underexposed and things, but I actually would have liked to have seen what it looked like if he had just taken the CDs out of their cases and laid them down like they were lily pads.
Oh.
No, cool idea. Cool idea. Yeah.
So that was just, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, you know, a matte black tray with some water in it. Shake it a little bit to create some ripples.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I'm a big Blackwater fan. I love pictures with it. So yeah, that might work. That's a great idea, Tim.
Yep. Alrighty, let's jump to the next one. Nick Spirov, I guess.
I'm guessing that speaker was blown.
Yeah, probably yes, because I can't imagine. Yeah, it's Milko Blues. If you guys seen, he posted even the video from, well, it's music video called Milko Blues. So now I understand why it's milk. But if we wouldn't have that video, I would question why we have milk, because this shot may look kind of cooler if you have just a clear water, you know. It's probably same shape. Well, it can be improved. I mean, the shape of that splash and how water coming from the bottom of the speaker, obviously. But concept is great. That, like I said, from technical point, it should be, well, I would do it water, or if it's milk, don't use real milk. That's probably real milk, and it should be real milk. It should be that glue, glue or whatever. It should be much thicker because here it's semi-transparent.
Yeah, I have yet to use the whole Elmer's glue thing yet, Alex. I'm actually terrified of that. I mean, and I'll light my house on fire for a picture. So what do I care? But scraping Elmer's glue off of everything.
Yeah, you need for this you need concrete floor. It's much easier. And you know that Elmer's glue, it's like well, it's easier actually. Milk is actually not as easy to clean as Elmer's glue, because milk has fat, and if you don't clean it now, it will be a bad idea to clean it in a week. With Elmer's glue, I can clean it in a few days later. The same success.
It's also very sticky too. It looks pretty. It has a lot of sugar in it, really.
Yeah, and it will smell and it's not good.
You know, if he would have used latex on this, you know, white paint, as long as we're going to make a mess, what the hell? But paint has a really cool consistency, and it's so thick. The stop motion in it would have been really cool. But you know, as far as commitment goes, okay, he's got my nod for this. Coming from a guy who's taken a half hour to take a picture and 5 hours to clean up after it, I appreciate shots like this. I really do.
I would be curious to see what. I think things would light up better if he had like a top light, wouldn't you think, Alex? Like he had
well, lighting can be improved here by a lot. I agree. Well, I don't know where light was here. I don't see much shadows, so it's hard to tell.
Judging from the lighting on the the splashes at the bottom, it looks like he has.
Oh, front, yeah, I see this area, right?
Yeah, it looks like he.
You know, I'd almost think that this was almost lit from the top. because if you look at the top of the speaker, there's no light. If this thing was shot from the bottom or even midway, that red would be popping like a mother at the top of the cone. So I'm really not sure how it was lit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking from the top too. If you look at the top splash on the very right, just about an inch
Yeah,
before
that
it goes
highlight
off.
there, right?
See how it kind of goes almost horizontal, and you can see the light coming from the top side and the shadow on the back.
Right, yeah. It's a little brighter here. Well, yeah.
It would be nice to know, though.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, guys, please post light and setup. Do one quick shot after everything is done, just to show us, because it will be much more useful and interesting for everybody. So.
Yeah, I got to do more of that. I really.
Well, you did it. You did it this time.
Yeah, this week. It's like the first week I've ever done it. So.
Well. Okay, let's jump to another Milky shot.
Yeah, this
Jeff,
sucks.
it's yours.
So Jeff, you did your the audio stuff, right? Where you
So
blasted
real-
some sound through a speaker and.
Yeah. It took me basically. I spent a whole day just trying to get the audio and figure out what the delay needed.
Finding the right frequency to get it to move like that.
Yeah. And I started off with just blasting dubstep music through the speaker.
Nice.
But the guy who I guess exposed me to this technique, he shot for a Canon ad campaign that was a video, the Canon Pixma or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was actually able to get a hold of him and ask him some questions, and he was really
Is that
nice.
the guy who has like a whole website of pictures like that?
His name's
all different colored liquids. And
Yeah, I think I've
everything.
seen it. Do you know his name?
Lyndon Gledhill is the guy that I contacted.
So you put in a call to UK?
Yeah, well, no, I just found him on Flickr, yeah, and just
Oh, okay. All right.
sent him a Flickr message. But he was really helpful, gave me a couple of pointers, and he said they actually used, when they were doing it, he used some kid's music program that had a keyboard, and he was just using the middle C note to trigger it, which was kind of an epiphany moment because I was listening to music, which is a constant loop, and so it was hard to trigger the device based on constant music. So I just used GarageBand after that and just picked a drum from the hip-hop drum kit, and then was able to trigger it, when I wanted to. The actual liquid, I think, is probably 3 shots combined. And then the product shot is actually only 1. But no, it was a complete experience. It turned out to be, it was like 24 hundredths of a second was like the money spot for getting all of it. And I probably took 250 photos, so.
24 hundredths of a second.
Yeah.
You put your shutter speed at 24 hundredths?
No, I have a I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's a Camera Axe system. It's basically this guy who I think works out of his garage. It's kind of a nerdy type guy that programmed this little device that you can buy, and he sells a bunch of different sensors and triggers. So I have a laser sensor where if anything intercepts the laser, it'll fire.
Okay, that's cool.
This was actually a sound trigger. It was just a microphone.
I'm surprised that 24 hundredths even captured it that sharp. Because even though it sounds quick, it's not.
Right.
But boy, that is just great. The only thing I could say is the bottom edge around it.
Yeah.
If you softened it a little bit, it might look because it just looks a little bit too sharp right around the bottom.
Yeah, but
either soften it or darken it. One of the two.
Yeah, it's not entirely believable. I didn't really have any good because I was telling Alex I just finished this like a half hour, so I was trying to rush to finish the editing.
Don't get me wrong though, man. This is a great shot. When I saw it, I said, "Wow." I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I'll probably go back again.
One thing I would fix in post-production again, if time, those wires, just make them smooth, without...
Liquefy? Yeah, that's what I was getting. It's funny because they were actually... I was worrying about the liquid photography for so long. I actually went out and bought these headphones. I didn't even open up the package to the headphones. And so I had shot literally hundreds of shots with this white paint. Turns out the wires are black.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
I
God.
actually had to trace them. And so the wires are all painted. So,
You know, it would be an Apple, you know, this white Apple headphones with that milk. I have a shot of the Apple phone on that milk. We can have a ad campaign of Apple.
Exactly.
Apple got milk, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna try and make this a little bit of a series. I have so many leftover photos. I think I'm gonna try and make an ear out of the other liquid shots that I have, and put the headphone actually inside.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Well,
what is the liquid? What did you use for the liquid?
It's that tempera paint that Bill mentioned, like.
Oh, so it's just white paint, basically.
Yeah, it's just white
Kind of
paint. It's water soluble, so when it dries, it just kind of cracks and comes off really easily. Although it's still on my fingers and hands.
I'm gonna show you that, guys.
And what did you? Is it directly on a speaker then, or?
No, I
Do you
used
have a background?
that was the other kind of hurdle. I had a really big speaker that I borrowed from my dad that was not broken, but he had ripped it out. He wasn't using it. And it was bigger, so actually I couldn't stretch a water balloon across it. It was too big. So I went out and bought a bunch of swim caps to try to use that as my membrane, but I didn't really get the results. So ultimately I ended up sacrificing a speaker that I have in my room for my surround sound and just wrapped it in cellophane, wrapped it up so it wouldn't get paint on it, and then used a black water balloon as the membrane.
Wow.
The stuff that Alex is showing right now is the stuff that I caught. There's also another guy out there who has tons of this kind of stuff. The first stuff I ever saw was probably 5 years ago, and it's just brilliant. How this all reacts to sound is just incredible. Really cool stuff. I always think of Alex. I think Genia posted a picture of a tennis racket hitting, or was it the rose? But it's from the same photographer. A rose with white paint on it that's sort of splattering all over the place. A tennis racket hitting a tennis ball that had paint on it.
Yeah, maybe on masterinSplash.com. Let me look at one of those inspirational posts that we have there.
Yeah, and this guy has like 20 pictures of this, and I just looked at them and I said, holy crap. Alex, you froze on us. You still there?
Yes, I'm still.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Okay, so it was.
Why did it just froze on me?
No, he was frozen on me for a second there, too. So.
Yeah.
So much for your increased bandwidth there, Alex.
Okay, if you started talking about all this milky stuff, let me guys show you. Well, I'm sure you've seen it, but maybe many of our viewers didn't see it. It's like a set of images. Yeah, those.
These are amazing shots.
Just how we can remove it. This is kind of milky shots from different photographers.
That's the one.
This one, right?
That's the guy. He has like 20 or 30 pictures, all different subjects. With.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I remember Bill told me about this guy. They kind of.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I talked to him a few times on and off through email.
Oh, that's mine.
And he wouldn't give any of it up. So.
I see. Well, milk is great stuff, especially like this. Wow.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go back to that one, Alex.
A little more, so let's watch
God almighty.
Okay, let's jump back.
Okay, next picture.
Yeah, next picture.
Thanks, Jeff.
Great stuff, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you.
Real quick, Jeff, how did you hold the speakers, the headphones up with? You said they were just in the package, or?
For jumping?
I taped them to a piece of glass.
Oh.
Okay.
And then
That's a cool idea. I was thinking you kind of jump in them and shoot in while they're on the air, but I see. Okay, Paul, it's yours, right? Oh, Paul is muted. Well, yeah, we know that's yours.
Yeah.
And this is lighting setup. Well, cool concept. I kind of like it. But thing going on around. Well, the only thing from technical standpoint, again, it's always like I look at this side first. Maybe a little bit more light, or well, it's hard to see without looking at speakers. But the front areas look kind of darker than that. Let me see. Okay, so it's basically maybe a little bit more light than this. Well, I don't know, really. On given shot, it's probably cool look like this. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, a little bit more light in the front.
Different, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I like the reflection. Underneath that right speaker, there's that highlight going on.
Yeah, I added that as a motion blur because without it, it just kind of looked like, why is it kind of suspended?
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like it jumping. I'm
so
open for
this
suggestions.
Part, right?
Yeah,
This part,
right there.
Okay, I see. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd get more light on the front, just to show some of the grill work or whatever is going on there. And the lightning, how did you do that?
The light.
You don't like it, huh?
No, it's not that. I'm just wondering how you did it. That's all.
It's a
Photoshop, right?
Yeah, it's a Photoshop effect.
Some filter, right?
I'm Photoshop soapy. So,
Right.
with me, I'd probably, try to rig it electrically and burn my house. Honestly, I've never really even touched Photoshop until I started doing this with you guys. Before this, it was all absolutely in camera. In fact, the picture that I have up tonight is, with the exception of some color alteration, is just a picture. So when it comes to filters and effects and all that stuff, I saw this great picture of these wonderful lightning strikes hitting something out in nature somewhere. And I just looked at it and said, wow, this is the greatest picture I've ever seen. And then the guy came on and said, yeah, it's this lightning strikes effect or something like that. And I was so disheartened. I mean,
That's pretty lame.
It just ruined me. Because I didn't, but it looked so incredibly real. The top of the water that it was hitting on was glowing like a real lightning strike. So it's getting harder and harder to know what's real and what's not anymore. Thank God for the honesty of some people where they just say, yeah, I grabbed this filter, I whacked it in there, and away it went. But I've been learning a lot in the weeks we've been doing this now.
I'll post it. It was actually something I found on YouTube. I'll put the link on my in the forum on my site, or if that's the best place to share that.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'll be great.
It's super simple. I mean, it's.
Is it the render clouds and then you drag the levels slider?
It's you do a gradient left to right, black to white, and then it's render clouds difference, and then you invert it, and it's the levels move, and then
Do you guys remember the Peanuts cartoons when the teacher was talking and the trombone was going off? That's what that all sounded like.
Trust me, it's really easy. You'll
really have to start.
You'll think it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like real lightning to me, though. I mentioned, Paul, on the forum. It just. I mean, I've studied lightning, looked at it a lot, and when you look at stock images and stuff, lightning has usually lightning has this one thick sort of tree trunk kind of one thick thing, and then off the side you have little branches, little veins that come off of it. And I guess maybe just from looking at it so much, when I see like I don't know, fake lightning, I notice it more, maybe.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I mean, with the reality, it can be better, right? But yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think the lightning here has potential. I would maybe soften the definition though from the clouds around the lightning. You know what I mean? It's sort of glowing in a funny way.
Well, lightning is usually really defined also. You know, really sharp lines. If you want to make it maybe a little bit more realistically, where it's touching the speaker, give the speaker some sort of a blue glow to it also. You know, to make it look like they really are interacting together. But you know, I like the overall shape and design of it. I think that the lightning is wrapping around the speakers nicely, which is focusing the viewer's eye.
Yeah, I agree that.
I'd really like to try to set that up real and just burn everything, but
well, my initial when I looked at it is that you can almost get away with sort of like the actual black sort of wire going on the inside of it. I guess not sort of that way that you were thinking of actually hooking it up and setting it on fire, but I'm just thinking like it would make it interesting to actually play it as if it's like the speaker wires themselves that are charged that much, rather than just lightning itself.
yeah, if all you just sort of click on Jeff, where did Jeff go?
Oh, Jeff, I think he dropped.
Yeah, he had a picture up that he took of a watch with, it looks like a real lightning strike behind it. And you could sort of see the difference between the real and the not real. But cool idea, man. You know, as with everything with We Do, don't just stop because the week has stopped. If you want to go back and play with it more, do it. I mean, I've done it a whole bunch. I'm still working on that blowtorch shot that I did the other week. I want to get a flame going in that darn thing. So,
did you try? Did it work like how it was? Like with long exposure and dark studio?
No, I'm still no. I've tried a whole bunch of stuff now. To try to get a flame to really show up great on a neutral background. I am not having any luck, but I'll get it. I'll keep trying until I do, that's for sure. And then I ain't telling none of you.
Well, yeah, just like Alex said, that's probably how I would do it. I would just turn off all the lights and then shoot just the flame and then copy and paste it into Photoshop. So.
But I've always, my goal has always been, when I started in all this, people, I tell people what my ideas were, and they say, well, you have to Photoshop it. And I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you don't have to, but
it's the easiest way out.
Photoshop is
But you know, I'm psycho. I've got all these hours.
Think about you use lens, right? You don't use pinhole camera.
Right.
Right? You use glass on your lens. So glass on the lens is a tool to get picture done the way you want. Photoshop is another tool to get picture done the way you want.
Yeah, and I have absolutely no problem with that. But my goal is when I pull a picture up on my screen, I want to see the picture. If people want to use Photoshop, that's totally cool with me. Hell, I'm doing it now.
That's completely noble and awesome if you can create stunning images just straight out of the camera.
But, you know, the fun for me is taking the picture. The final result is usually an absolute letdown because it's over. Trying to figure out how to do this crap has driven me insane for the last 10 years, but it's the thing that's kept me going doing it. You know, a lot of the pictures I've taken in the weeks we've been doing this have a lot of Photoshop going on. And it's totally outside my comfort zone. But I've learned a lot doing it, and it's really hip, and I've always appreciated anybody who does it. But for me, the fun is, okay, how do I make this work? You know, for me, it's the journey. It's not getting to the destination. So just the kind of guy I am, that's all.
I feel the same, Dave. I feel the same. Okay, let us jump to next one. this far. Well, it's Sylvain Miller, right?
Yeah.
Well, I like this part of the shot, and I'm not sure about this part, because I kind of imagine that if it's headphones, they kind of should be symmetrical, like on your head. So I'm not sure why this one is just, well, I understand why, it's just probably the shape it, but I would probably do it the way that it will appear like in darkness, slightly visible right here. As for the technical side, it's almost perfect. The lighting probably perfect. I like it. The post-production part, I would go clean this. All that, well, it's probably not metal, but anyway, the chrome stuff. It's because of surface is not even, so that's why it gives it always like this. And Jenny said, oh, it's post-production, obviously. It should be all cleaned. All lines should be, nice and smooth. Not sure about this area. I would probably, it may be fine. The only thing, if we see H all around that headphone, it will be fine like this. So that's probably my input. Dave?
Can't add much more to that. The bottom cup of the headphone doesn't bother me that much because I think it sort of brings more focus into the main cup. What Gina said is perfect. The outline should be smooth. They should be even. In chrome areas, I always like going in and crushing it with some sort of noise reduction software. Noise Ninja or Neat Effects or whatever you use to give that smooth chrome kind of feel to it. And maybe just when I use noise reduction on stuff, I don't do it overall. I'll noise reduce a piece, I'll copy it, I'll go back to the way it was, I'll paste the layer over it, and then I'll erase out the areas I don't want noise reduction in. Just leaving the chrome areas or maybe some smoother areas that I want, but leaving some of the grain in some of the areas that I do want the grain in. But yeah, as far as the one thing I saw in that picture was the oval, and how I'd love to see that, just a nice smooth line. Yeah, right there.
You're talking about the outer?
No, the inside chrome.
Inside, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, that area. I'd love to see a nice, smooth, sharp outline on that to really sort of just focus on that Sennheiser logo. Mm-hmm. And also the one highlight down at the bottom of that oval, that really bright one.
Mm-hmm. This one, right?
No, right above it, Alex.
You mean on the oval? I see, this little one.
The brightest part in the picture, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, right, yeah, this little one, I see. This
one.
Yeah,
yeah, so that's got to be taken back. Other than that, it's bringing great focus to the logo, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's strange. What is this? What kind of highlight is that? Now it looks like almost like a wet.
That is the plastic. If you think of a headphone, they've got that rubber inside cushion thing.
Right. Yeah, but you see how smooth it looks here,
right?
And it just catches some harsh light. And yeah, that's one of the things which should be kind of equalized. If it's smooth like this, it should be probably better.
Right,
right. Well, it's being lit from the left a bit, because you can sort of see on the bottom part of that headphone, on the same sort of angle of it, it's not being lit either. If you think like down where you see that light there, and then look to the right of it, basically, it looks like it's trying to light the main headphone on the edge.
Yeah, there's a reflector there.
Yeah, it was some small light. I mean, it should be much bigger light probably too. So this H will be actually not that bright, but it will be much wider. I mean, it will be here and here and here, and it actually will benefit only. It just we need to have bigger diffuser there from the left.
But what's really cool about this image though, and I think a lot of ad shots that I see miss this. My eye goes right to that logo. My eye does not go off that logo. I have to force my eye to go other places in this frame.
It's
And
right
from the logo, it'll go to the model number, that HD218, and then right back to the logo, which is really, really important. At least, Alex, you'd know better than me, of course. But in ad work, that's the money shot. So while there are
not
some
sure about this, but
Pardon?
you're right about logo. I'm not sure about this, but you're right about logo for sure. Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Maybe darkened a little bit, Alex?
No, that's kind of fine. It's not logo probably I would maybe darken logo a little bit because it's fine to see logo, but you see, I mean, it shouldn't interfere with the product. It should kind of still sit more aside, really, because
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think it's kind of my image because the first it's product. The logo is like well, it should be visible obviously, and kind of, but here it's probably because it's big, white, in the middle of the kind of main subject. Yeah, it's kind of dropped.
So maybe the logo and the product should be about even importance in stuff like this?
Yeah, probably. It's more, well, I probably not cannot answer this correctly because we need to ask somebody who maybe not a photographer, but like an art buyer from the other side.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you
good
know,
point.
it's like,
Good
so
point.
I'm not sure, yeah, because I didn't do that many advertisement shots, so I don't know. For me, it was always product first, and that's what I heard from clients. Logo is always visible, but nobody said, like, make it brighter. If it's visible, it's fine. It should be
Okay,
visible, of course, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Let's jump to the next one. We'll accelerate a little bit. So, GL audio from Chris Kruzanek. Kind of cool, almost like a macro shot. I see all this texture, which I like. Not sure about this little piece, but it's probably post-production, nothing major. What I would do here, given this close-up shot, I would probably add something to this area, or not that big, to the bottom, under the digital audio. It's too white here, and yeah, I'll probably make it a little bit darker, the logo, and make something here. I think it should be visible, all that oval on the center.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little bit more texture, or like I said, visibility over here, because we see it. Other than that, it's pretty cool. Hey, what do you think? Oh, you got some guitar.
Yeah. I always have one of these things in my hand at one time or another.
Cool.
Pretty much what you're saying. I'd like to see the a little bit more detail. There's just way too much black in there. But other than that, cool shot.
Alex, just going off of what we had just talked about in the last image, with this image, I'm curious to see what more of the speaker looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I agree from product standpoint, but if, let's say, I always start trying to think about this kind of shot that it was a kind of requirement from a client to shoot, like a close-up macro. But I completely agree with you. If you shoot product, it should be more product. But, sometimes, what can be cool in that shot? It can be filter probably. Well, let's imagine that that speaker is walking, like pushing air, and it should be a filter in Photoshop to make waves, like air waves visible, where it will change the refraction a little bit. So you'll see the waves coming from the center. Maybe cool. It's just a thought.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
Damn it. Yeah, I think looking at his behind-the-scenes photo, I think it's a car sub, so that speaker is recessed in a box, and there's fiberglass, or there's a plexiglass in front. So I think he was somewhat limited in his lighting setup, I think, just because he had to shoot through at a certain angle where he wasn't getting reflections on the plexi. And then I think in terms of just the fields that you could do to place lights, I think he was limited there too. So.
I see.
Yeah. What I was going to say though, just looking at it some more, I usually like to pick a direction to put something. I mean, the logo is almost right in the middle, but it's just a little off to the side. And then there's in terms of framing, there's sort of negative space off to the right. But when you think about it, the sound would be coming out and then like moving towards the left, right? So I would almost frame it like opposite. I would move the frame over to the other side so that there's more space on the left side, so the logo is sort of looking into the frame rather than out of it.
I see. So it's somewhere like this, right? Kind of.
Right, but then add a little more of the rim and the detail on the
I understand it, but
speaker.
Yeah. I see.
That's just a thought.
Yeah.
Because right now it's like people portraits. When you take a portrait, generally speaking, unless you're trying to make an artistic statement, generally speaking, you have the person face towards the inside of the frame, rather than kind of looking outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Thank you guys. Let's move to the next one. Another close-up shot, almost like a macro shot. Well, it looks cool and unusual, like almost like a black hole, on those scientific illustrations, when it kind of sucks light inside. Well, I can't say anything other than that because it's like truly artistic or shot. Well, which is cool. Dave, what do you think?
I got nothing more than that either. This is just art stuff. But cool. I like the tonality. I like the gradients. Neat shot.
I'd have to say, the first thing that comes to my mind is that I want to know. I see this image, and the first thing I think of is, where can I buy something that looks like this? So like to me, I can see this working sort of like the poster style that we saw earlier, where with the black space we just put the name on that. I'm thinking that you could almost, you could almost effectively put it anywhere in this photo. You've got lots of lines or hotspots to line up with. You could basically put it anywhere, and someone would look and go, I want whatever that one was. I don't, and just like the image itself is so stunning to pull basically to it. Assuming that you're in the audio section so that you know it's a speaker, but just be like, where can I find something that looks just so stunning in that sense?
Yeah. It's funny that we don't know how big is it. It may be a really, really small one,
Yeah.
Very close up.
It could even be like the inside of a headphone, and I'd still be like, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Got some weird cool.
Thank you. Let's jump to Dave's shot. Boo!
More exploding stuff.
Yeah, more exploding stuff. A lot of emotion, a lot of stuff going on. The sharp glasses. Well, I love everything. From technical side, I would probably do the same. I'm not sure if I would do any different. Cool speakers. Is it like real speakers? The
yeah
production speaker. We can buy it, or it's like one guy made it once and that's it. Do
a search for IKY Audio. It's some guy who's just trying to get his own company going, and the great cool thing about these are they sound great on top of it all, but they're not perfect because he's taking PVC and he's manually putting it together. So there's little differences in angle and everything, and his name is Eric Nelson, and he's a great guy. You can, if you go to Etsy.com, that's where he sells most of his stuff from. Really cool stuff, and a great guy. So.
I see. This is mounts, right?
That's for the wires.
Wires. Okay, not mounts. Okay.
The speaker wire goes right onto them. It's your typical the 16 gauge wire or whatever the hell you use. Yeah. And just wrap them around and go for it, man.
So how did you shoot that glass like this?
The glass was actually, I had it sitting on a shot glass right in the middle of the frame. Yeah, you can't really tell from the setup because that was after the break.
Right.
And I just had a metal marble. Actually, it was a neodyne magnet that weighed a ton. So I threw it with my right hand and clicked with my left, and that was the first glass, the first click, and I was done.
What would you do if you? How many glasses you have, Dave? Like,
I had 8 ready. I just happened
Well,
to get it
yeah,
on the first one.
well, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so with the exception of the speakers themselves are a little bit more yellow, but I didn't like the way they were reacting to the light, so I reddened them up a little bit. The cones I adjusted a bit because they came out a bit flat, but what you're seeing is what the camera saw, really. And what's really great is I wish I had posted a close-up of it. At the bottom of the glass is etched in, frosted, the name of the company that made the glass. I forget what it was. But yeah, right down in there, if you go to 100% magnification on the shot that I have, you can read it crystal clear. So.
Oh, that's Pentax, right?
Yeah. This was the 645.
That's not much of an advertisement for the company, though, Dave.
Yeah.
Of course not. But you know, if you create good crystal and it cracks at a certain frequency, you've done your job. But yeah, you know, I don't look at my images very often and say, wow, that's really freaking great. But
oh, this is awesome. This is really cool.
The native size of it is 18 by 24. Go ahead, Noah.
I was going to say, so what did you do? You held up the glass and then threw the marble or the magnet
no, the glass was actually sitting on a shot glass. And I took a marble, and I should have left the shot glass in the shot so you could see it. Just took the marble.
So you just removed that with Photoshop?
Yeah, I just copy brushed it out.
Nice.
And actually, there wasn't much of it to be seen, which I was sort of intrigued by. I've got to get more. I like the idea of things levitated in pictures, so I need more like clear glass stuff to be able to elevate more. You know, most of the action here is happening to the left of the frame from the way we're looking at it. I would have liked more to be over to the right to sort of even it out, and was thinking about busting more glasses, but then I would have had to Photoshop it and all that, and I really didn't want to do that on this. And also, probably I would have broken 7 more glasses and missed them all, so I figured, why bother? This was good enough. Let it rock.
It could have been. I do think it could have been interesting to have, like definitely if you want to learn Photoshop in the future, definitely give this shot a try. I think because if you can make it sort of symmetrical with the glass breaking or more on the right, that would actually be really cool.
Yeah, and I would have liked the stem and the base to be sort of more static. So it's just sitting there. And then the glass is just sort of exploding up and out. That would be real cool also. But I think I sort of went more back to my roots on this one, where I looked at the back of the camera and said, okay, that's it, and just went with it. With the kind of stuff I shoot, sometimes I just do that. I think I can get a better result, maybe, but when I look at it and feel it, I go with it. So.
What kind of trigger are you using, Dave?
No trigger. It's left hand on the cable release, right hand on the marble.
Yeah. I received the trigger trap soon. Very soon, I hope. You know the trigger trap device?
Yeah. I have a Mumford. I used it a couple times, but I wasn't happy with it whatsoever. It would react to sounds I didn't want it to react to. So I've just gotten, you know, from doing this kind of timing crap for so many years now, I've gotten pretty good with, okay, I use mirror lock all the time when I shoot. So the first click is mirror, then I drop and I click, and I've just gotten good at it. I don't know how better to explain it.
Well,
I think
I know what to say.
maybe being a guitar player sort of helps me with the left-hand, right-hand thing a little bit. But there was I hate to admit it, but when I saw the picture in the camera, because you never know until you view it if you've really gotten it. It was a joyous moment with a lot of "oh fuck yeah" kind of comments going on after I saw it.
Especially considering it was first shot, right? It was
first
great.
shot,
I can imagine
only
the
one
feeling.
glass. I had about 30 setup shots, maybe more probably, just to make sure the light was right. And as you can tell by the lighting setup here, it's not conventional whatsoever. I'm sure Alex or Bill or even Jeff would have lit this just so differently. But I'm so unconventional and just do what I know how to do that it worked. And I think all the flashes were set under half power somewhere. But you know, a lot of it goes. I'm learning how to use the 645 now, and you know where the sweet spot is as far as aperture goes. With my old Canon stuff, I could shoot at f32 with my 100mm and still get sharp images. That doesn't really happen with Pentax stuff, or probably any medium format stuff.
It gets blurred? When you close it, it gets blurred?
Yeah, it gets to the point where I'm uncomfortable. So I think I shot this at f16, and then having to deal with the depth of field in medium format is throwing me for a total loop. Medium format is a strange bird when it comes to depth of field, man. You shoot at f11 on something as close as I was shooting this at, you've got a really short distance of being in focus. 35mm is like 8 feet versus, you know, medium format being maybe a foot. It's crazy. So
it's great for portraits, but not that great for product photography.
Yeah, it gets tough. Now, Pentax has a new 90mm coming out shortly that's made for the new 645. So I'm hoping that it's just sharp as a tack from one f-stop to another. So
is it macro? Macro 90mm?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because macro should be sharper. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. You said that I would probably lit it different. I wouldn't do it much different. Maybe just a little bit more contrast, a little bit more gradients from like brighter area on the edges and darker on the middle of the stickers.
You know,
one of the thoughts.
I agree with you. I probably would have brightened this a little bit more, and I think I will if I ever go to print it. It just seems just a few points too dark to me. But I'd love to see a print of it, just to actually witness it, because I think it's got sort of a dark sort of mood to it. But you know, I'd like to say that this idea is just totally original, but I actually shot a lot of shots like this a couple years ago with the whole thought of the glass breaking from sound, which of course I got from the, it was sort of an extrapolation through the Maxilad. If you remember years ago, a guy sitting in a chair with a speaker pointing right at him and holding his hand out with the drink flying into it from the sound coming out of the speakers. Well, I messed with this years ago with actually these speakers, to be honest with you. So when you mentioned speakers, Alex, and I said, yeah, I think that's a great idea, I already had it in mind, so that's not really fair. But this is really what I envisioned. I'd like some things to be a little bit different, but if I want to capture it in one frame, I'm pretty happy with this, actually.
Well, that's good. Great shot for one frame, or whatever, one or not one. It's great. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. Well, I didn't shoot actually anything for this because, well, I'm completely on that new project and hopefully it will be released Monday, just before I leave for conference. But yeah, this is shot from like a year ago. We shot about 10 different colors of this. And the most amazing about those guys, those little earbuds is, like I posted the price and the technology. Each one has 6 speakers in it. How it can be possible? One that piece up to, well, maybe not exactly this model, but they can have up to 6 speakers, and the price is up to $1,300.
That's ridiculous.
It's a studio. They call it monitors that headphone, whatever. It's probably the highest quality stuff you can put in your ears.
Yeah, but I have in-ears when I play sometimes, and I've got custom molds and everything, and I think all told it cost me like $400. I can't even imagine. Now, you know, if you're Kenny Chesney going out on tour, and you've got to really, really try to hear yourself, so maybe you can sing in key, these would probably be important. But, God, $1,600 for in-ears? Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the technology is amazing. If you've got 6 speakers in there, that means that you can do a lot of different, you know, frequencies with pretty high definition. But you know, even with that, I mean, the bass never really comes through properly anyway. So.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Did you keep them at least, Alex?
Oh, no way. Well, I just need them. I just need them because there is no use. My ears is pretty simple, and they're so much happy with $20. You know, those headphones I have.
But Alex, I don't see any logos or anything on it. What was the client's requirements for this shot?
Well, you know, they've seen, if you look at my, that Google Plus post, there is linked to, I think it's Logitech.
Yeah.
Similar products. So that's what they give me about how they want those products, their own products, to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So the position came from there, from a client. And, well, no logo. If they fine without logo, I'm fine too. So it's like I didn't have any problem. We got it. The tricky part was here. They were semi-transparent, so I had to lead them from behind a lot to give that kind of translucent look, and still not to or brighten those little highlights all around. But other than that, yeah, I have, like I said, 2 spots behind them, 2 reflectors from a side, a little bit in front to get those gradients on these black areas. Well, unfortunately, this one is not even, so it's not nice. Probably we can do it in post, but again, they didn't want it to do, so we didn't do it for them. And it's just straight shot from, what they got a year ago.
Yeah,
but,
that's the only thing I would have said about this. Take the left one and copy it over to the right one. But I love that highlight that you have under the left one.
Oh, this, well, digital. It's another the Photoshop trick. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, that little spark. But I think
she is just brilliant. She really is. She knows how to bring out stuff so well. God bless her.
But I really do like, though, Dave, that those highlights down at the bottom of the earbuds themselves are kind of the brightest spots on the, on the picture.
Right.
I don't know. There's something about it that it's really cool.
It's a balance thing. I don't know. Guys who can shoot this kind of stuff understand balance so well that you can have something that's the brightest thing in the picture that's not the subject but doesn't hurt it. I haven't gotten that. Usually the brightest things in my pictures sometimes take away from it a lot. But the guys who really know how to shoot this stuff, the brightest things don't always. They almost point focals at the subject itself, and it's a gift more than an art. But yeah, I think the balance in this shot, the outline of the cable on the top You know, you've got this wonderful left outline and then the wonderful right outline that sort of frames the whole thing and brings your eye into the center, and then those wonderful blues right in the middle. You know, it's great stuff, man. It's
Yeah, I only wish it would be same, because here we see this. Yeah, thank you, Dave. I just kind of.
no, but I
No,
think
it
I think if they were the same, Alex, it would look too fake.
Yeah, true.
You know, with some of my pictures recently, I've mirrored stuff, and it's pretty obvious that it's mirrored. Because I'm not, you know, I'm still learning when it comes to that kind of stuff.
And it's
But
interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
this, you're still adding the frame, but there's still a difference to it, which gives it that realistic look. So.
Yeah, they were so different. If you look, I mean, even because it's like individually made, right, for each year, they're really different. I was actually, when I got those pieces, I was surprised how kind of bad they were looking just in my hands. Just pieces of some plastic pieces, and they want something nice.
Did you try them though?
Say again?
Did you try them? Did you put them in and give it a go?
No, I think I kind of have a feeling that it won't fit, and if it will fit, it may be hard to get some back. No, I didn't try. I don't, they kind of look so weird, so
I was curious though, Alex. How you said that they wanted it to look like the Logitech ones. Is that how the order came in though? Do they just say, here are some earbuds, make them look kind of like that?
Yes. I actually, I couldn't find it so fast. It was a mail when we started talking, and they said the product, and they send just a point-and-shoot camera shot of their product, and said few links saying, "Can you do this?" I said, "Yes, you can do it." So that's how it started. And then we started conversation, and they said, "Yeah, we need exactly this way, how it's on the link on that Logitech site." So. Actually, it was different angles. It's not like all of them were like this. It was the angle when they were rotated like other side to us, but it's one of them, one of kind of nice shots we selected. So yeah, you know, this product photography, it's interesting and fun till it's challenge. Like we got this, we shot them. It was like I said, around maybe 6-9 pieces, and it was interesting. And if I would do it again and again, it won't be fun anymore. That's exactly those products or similar one.
Right.
So that's why I kind of always trying to balance between doing too much product shots, because I don't want to shoot catalogs and that kind of stuff. It's boring, and it's not.
So when you shoot products, though, of course you shoot a lot, but do they normally buy just one or two of each product, or how does that?
Oh, you mean the images itself, the shots?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it all depends. For new clients, we give more choices, and they usually know how many images they need. Let's say 3. Oh, Alexander, we need to mute it a little bit because it's kind of. So they usually know, and we give them choice. If it's client, which we do it again and again, stuff, I mean repeated, we basically in many cases I can shoot like few shots, found, oh, this is a good one, and that's what we send them, and that's it. Because they trust us, and we know exactly what they want.
So with some clients, you basically know what they want, and then you just shoot it that way, and then you give them the ones that you pick, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right.
With the few I've done, it's been, I give them a whole bunch of ideas, and then they pick the one they want to focus on, and just go from that, and then there are rounds after that. And after I did a few of them, I realized quick I want nothing to do with it anymore. Because it's just not the way my brain works. When people say to me, no, this is what I really want to do, I shut down. It's because I'm not engaged in it. It's
right.
Just I'm not good that way. I just If I can't feel it, I can't shoot it. It's just the way I am. And my hat goes off to anybody who can do it. Because with me, I'm not a technical guy. I go in there and do what I do, how I do it, and it's all about feel and emotion and all that. But if somebody says to me, no, I don't like that idea, this is what I want you to do, I couldn't do it. Not in a million years. So anybody who can do that is just amazing in my eyes. They really are.
Yeah, usually when I do illustrations, I'll throw up a bunch of thumbnail sketches for them to take a look at, and little concepts and things, and they'll pick one or two, and then we'll pick a direction and kind of go towards it. So I'm just trying to figure out a good workflow with photography clients. I mean, I've done some photography, but you know, it's still an evolving thing on the business side of things. So I'm just, you know, curious, when you're in the studio and you shoot like 300 frames, I don't want to show them all 300 frames, of course.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so where do you draw the line between kind of shooting what they kind of recommended or what they said they wanted, and shooting kind of for your own artistic sense, and then saying, you know, I think this might be better.
Yeah, well, it's I see what you're saying, but in many cases they know pretty good what they need, and it's rare when I shoot like hundreds of shots. It can be only when I'm trying to get some result and I couldn't, so I shoot, but obviously all the shots not considered for the client because I just moving towards destination, and then I got shot. Or when I may be, for example, I may move slightly subject, the product, a little bit different angle. I may move camera a little bit just to see, and those kind of shots I may show the client. They are similar, they similar look, exactly what they want, but angle a little bit different, and it's basically like a taste, you know, client's taste. But yeah, I would love to have more shots where they will kind of ask more like to create some creative idea. You know, it's more like advertising stuff. But again, it's usually not a photographer who's doing this. It's an advertisement agency does it, and then photographer just implements their vision. So it's kind of. But well, for me, it's always interesting, the challenge, the technical challenge. The harder.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be an interesting challenge too. If an art director comes to you and says, "Well, this is exactly what I want," and then you go, "Boy, how am I going to do that?"
Yes, exactly. This is the best stuff. I just love it when I see it, and oh man, that's what I kind of like. Because I learn tons. You know, it's like I'm shooting for money, and well, it's like a school for me. You know, every time I learn so much stuff, so it's really cool.
What kind of time frame do you normally give them? A week, 3 days?
For completion, or?
Yes, for completion or towards the, you know,
well,
selection process.
Well, I charge for time, not for like products, because I estimate how much time I need to shoot it, and even though if for some reason I spend more time, I always think why I did it. Because I wasn't aware about, I didn't think through the shot and I couldn't estimate it, or it was not my fault, but they kind of gave me, let's say, some dirty product or something which more post-production work, so it will be like increased bill. But for time, well, it's usually several hours basically shot. It's never like 3 days. If I have time, they send me a product, I shoot it. Same day, if it's empty. If it's not, it depends on schedule, right? So I'm not sure what.
Okay. I
mean, I didn't have. Well, I had one 3-day shot. It was like 40 pieces of jewelry, and we were shooting like, I don't know, 10, 15 hours every day. But it was crazy, and it was like
You charged per hour for that? So when you
yeah,
did that,
all per hour, yeah. I charge only per hour stuff. because it's my time. It's not like, guys, you want me to work, I'm happy to work for you, but it costs money.
Right.
Yeah.
But then do you license the photos as well, so they can only use them for a certain period, or how does that work?
Well, the license comes to the price for an hour. So when first I ask the license, and then I calculate my hourly rate. It can be different for different licenses. So.
I see. So if they want like to own all the rights to the photos, you charge probably more per hour than you would.
Yeah, exactly. I have a multiplier and have like a base rate, right? So let's say it's like $100 per hour, for example, and depends on the right. It just multiplies by 2, 5, 10, whatever you want.
I see.
Yeah, the company I run, we specialize in doing educational books, elementary to high school, and we do a lot of photography. And we charge on stuff like that, which is just really catalog product shooting. We charge per piece, and the rights are generally set up by the client, and we don't really care. If they want all the rights, it's probably the same price as if they allow us to retain the rights, because we're never going to use this stuff again. It's usually a picture of a book or some gimmick shot going into a book somewhere. So I think really it depends on what you're shooting. If you're shooting stuff for a really specialized field that won't really be reused except for that client, we give the rights away because we could never use it again anyhow, because it's usually a shot of one of their books to begin with. So
yeah. You know, Dave, that's how I did at the beginning, but it's not right. Why? Because it doesn't matter can you reuse it or not. For them, it should be different price how they're going to use. If they're going to use it, let's say, locally, it's one price. US, like statewide, it's another price. Exactly the same thing, right? Worldwide.
How many people are going to see it, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, and it doesn't matter, are you going to use, for example, when you shoot for Coca-Cola, Bill, he'll shoot. He couldn't use it anyway. Well, he could, but the price still, is it like, well, it's all based on the licensing. So, I used to work like this. Well, it's for editorial, right? It's maybe flat rate. You said it's for books. Dave, what it was? Book? Was that editorial, right? Maybe?
Educational.
Educational, but
school books.
School books. Well, yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. We just recently did a whole bunch of shots that equaled out to about $300,000. If we didn't give them the rights, we wouldn't have gotten it. So,
yep.
Go ahead, take it. Go ahead, take the rights. Right. It doesn't matter. To get $300,000 in photography in this day and age is a pretty damn good thing. I think what we're saying here is it sort of moves along with what the market will bear. We'll have, if we don't do it, somebody else will. If the client's requesting that they own the rights to everything, then we do what the client wants.
Well, yeah, I agree. You need to look at the market. But on the other hand, it's always a good thing to kind of try to keep, because it's very easy to get kind of driven by that way, and having many clients, a lot of work, and relatively not big amount of money because you're kind of working and you can't raise it. It's what I'm saying, that it's hard to raise prices for your work just because kind of you like it. So if you kind of get many clients who know that you can shoot this stuff with all rights included for that kind of price, it will be really hard to get more money from those clients, right? You're going to lose them if you're going to put it higher.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, I think the ad world's different than the kind of stuff we shoot also. You know, we're cookie cutter, man. I mean, we're hang and bang. We put it in a frame, we shoot it, we go on to the next one. There's a level of expertise, but there's not this, okay, I've got to grab somebody with it. You know, it's not like what you shoot or what Bill shoots or some of the stuff I've seen Jeff shoot. or some of the stuff I've seen a lot of the guys here shoot. It's just, if you guys all had to do what we do, you could do it in a heartbeat. You know, it's a lot of it's put it in a light tent and crank it the heck out. So there isn't this level of notoriety that goes along with it. That when you look at something, it will be recognized. You know, when you see a really cool Coke ad, or a really cool Sprite ad, or a Budweiser ad, it's visible. You know it. Us as photographers especially, we'll see it, and then if we see it again, we'll recognize it. The kind of stuff we do isn't that way. It's purely just hang and bang kind of stuff. So I think that there's probably all sorts of levels to this. You know, with the stuff we do, okay, great, sell the rights. With the stuff that Bill does, you do, a bunch of us would do, no. You know, when my pictures are asked to be used in ads, and yes, believe it or not, every once in a while they are, I never give the rights away. That would never happen in a billion years with the stuff I shoot. And I've never had one say, well, we can't do it then. You know, I'll allow you to use it for such and such, however you want to particularly use it. A whole bunch of my images were used by Epson for about 3 years. They were the test shots that came out of the printers, out of every printer in Europe. There was 20 of them. And for 3 years, those were the ones that when you hit the test print button, one of my pictures came out. And they wanted to have the exclusive rights to them. And I said, no. And they were like, what do you mean no? I'm like, no, you can't own these pictures. I took them. And they finally acquiesced. You know, the price came down a little bit, but in the end, I own them. So just like we've always talked about, I think it just depends on what exactly you want out of all this.
Agree. I did it only once with all rights given to the buyer, and it was awful. It's like,
yeah,
I shoot images, and then I have to ask them, can I use it one minute? It was such a bad feeling that they said to me, never, never, ever again. Never give all the rights. So they need to ask me where to use, not I.
I have a licensing agreement with a lot of my stuff now for a commercial product. You know, the puzzles that I posted and all that kind of crap. But, man, those are still my pictures. I can take them to any gallery I want. I can use them in any advertising I want. Now, if anybody comes up to me and says, you know, we want to make puzzles and journals and calendars, I can't do that. But, you know, in the long run, they are still my pictures. And I can't, I could never, ever give them away for any amount of money. It just wouldn't matter to me.
Yeah, I think it's, sometimes clients ask for copyright transfer. I think it's not right at all, at least at the US, because if you shoot it, it will be always copyrighted by your name, unless you shoot it working on for hire. For hire, it's just a killer. It's meaning you're not working for yourself at all. They used your brain and your head, right? But other than that, it's kind of, it should work. Anyway, we have a lot of time. Let's talk about next assignment. We have few options.
Jeff, what was your suggestion? I was on Alex's site earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, we have food.
I had sunglasses or cosmetics.
You know, sunglasses is a great idea, which just opens up. So I saw that and I said, yeah, great. I think that sounds wonderful. There were so many possibilities with that. Mm. Yeah, okay, put them down there.
Wait, what are those? Let's see them.
They're what? Oh, what brand?
Hmm? They Oakley's?
Brand? Yeah, they're Oakley's. But they've got, you know, look at the yeah, I'll do this just because it's challenging, but it's got reflective kind of lenses and...
Yeah,
it's going to be a nightmare.
Glasses, I think.
Yeah. Sunglasses, they're a lot like cars because they have reflective surfaces and they have transparent surfaces. So you really, you know.
And imagine that they have some gemstones. It will be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, what I've got a line on. Anybody here ever seen that movie 13 Ghosts? And they had these weird glasses that had LED lights on the inside of them that allowed you to see all the ghosts walking through. I have a line on one of the actual sets of prop glasses that they used in the movie. So I'm all for glasses. Let's just do it, and hopefully they can come in before we have to shoot for this.
Okay, so glasses, right?
Glasses.
Glasses, next. Cool. So
Sounds good.
Let's shoot glasses next.
Simple enough.
Yeah, I really hope I could do it, and hopefully I will do it, but I can't promise you guys. But for me, it's very interesting because I never shoot glasses. I have a lot of cosmetic stuff, so maybe next time we'll shoot cosmetic, I'll skip and I'll just can talk a lot about it. But glasses, yeah, it will be interesting.
Okay, Alex, you better shoot this week. I don't care what conference you're going to. Get a picture up here, man.
I
It's
need to
after
release
next week,
one
too.
thing. Actually, one thing I want to tell, I will close blog and the forum probably Friday. I will just lock it because I'm gonna move it, and on Monday it will be in a different place. So don't worry if you can't post anything there. Just hold on and it will be open.
So when are you leaving for Cali, Alex?
Oh, what?
California.
Oh, California. Well, I'll be leaving. I think Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, and we'll have a photo walk Monday. Then we'll have a photo shoot Tuesday. We'll have some stuff Wednesday because the conference is Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
Right.
And Thursday, yeah, I'll be heading back to Atlanta.
I really wish I could make it out there. I would have loved to hang out with all you guys.
Yeah, it would be cool.
No, you're heading out there, right?
Yeah, I'm heading out there.
I would have gone
I
out
got-
there, but it's a little bit of a long flight.
I haven't. Wow, but that would be cool. Yeah, it's not far from you.
got
What
extra
Evan done some
$100.
guys did. Many shots we did with Evan. Those Godiva shot, that water ball, whatever. It was always
The water ball was one of the last ones I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Godiva.
well, Australia, how long can it
Australia.
be? 24 hours? Getting a plane?
It's 13 to California. So, you know,
That's all it
it's only
is?
22 to go back to Alex's house.
Wow. That's,
You know, if I get in my kayak now, I can probably make it. I don't know if I can.
Good to see you again, Evan.
Yeah, I had the day off. I went online, saw the hangout was coming in, so I dropped in and been eavesdropping. Was hoping to capture some more marketing ideas because, you know, I can't. Alex does Alex's thing, and it's magic. I've seen it in person. So
So when do we start seeing your pictures up here, man?
I haven't been doing a lot of the internal stuff. I've been going to the beach, and they've had a lot of the Association of Surfing Professionals, the Kelly Slaters and everybody's been coming through. So I've been going to the beach with my 300 millimeter and a telly and just doing a lot of surfing.
Right.
And then I went back and did some old Alex HDR kind of techniques I picked up from him and using the software, and had a good time with that. I will admit I've been very slack on my G Plus Hangouts homework.
Well, you know, just hand Kelly a pair of shades and tell him to get out and surf. And
Here, put these on real quick. Let me light all around you real quick. We'll get this real going, and then I'll send it to Alex.
Absolutely. There you go.
Because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's beautiful out here, just so you know.
it's 12 a.m. here. Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's
midnight.
Thursday
It's
afternoon,
midnight by
so
Alex, and
welcome
he's
to
ready to
Thursday.
fade right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to jump in and come distract the group from it. But I did sunglasses when I first came out here. I did 3 light setup on some Ray-Bans, and that is going to be a lot of fun because I'm going to revisit it this week and try and come up with something different to do because I did it before using black glossy, just a black backdrop, and just kind of positioning soft boxes around to get the least amount of glare on the lens, but giving enough kind of rim light to the rest of the subject to make it come out. And I haven't gone back to revisit to get a little more creative with it, so I think this will be fun.
Yeah.
Well, you know, just don't just focus on the sunglasses either. You know, try to get a feeling in there also.
Yeah.
You know, because next week I'm going to be brutal.
Yeah. Let's not forget about emotions, guys. Not just simple sunglasses, because we don't want to be just a product photographers who's doing boring job, right? We need to be advertisement photographers. So.
Yeah, and if you can get emotion in really weird shots, like sort of I do, when it comes down to trying to infuse emotion into just regular shots, it sort of makes it easier because you sort of understand what needs to be done. So I want to see emotion, damn it.
You're gonna make me cry if you keep talking to me like that. So there you go.
Just bust open a Foster's and have a good time, man.
Hey, they don't drink that down here. That's a stereotype.
what do they drink?
Now, what do they drink over there?
The local beer here is either VB, which is Victoria Bitter, or 4X, which is local up here in Brisbane.
4X.
And then,
it's local.
yeah, 4X.
It's very strong beer, right?
Say again?
Or is it a very strong beer? I've seen triple X here, but it's
no, it's the same to me.
It's not 4 X's. It's okay. It's different.
4 X's. 3 X's is when girls get naked. But it's 4X. It's all right. It's better than, you know, watered down cheap American beer, I guess. But then again, American beer here is import, so Corona's $5 a bottle. You guys can keep it.
You're kidding me. For that watered down garbage, you have to have lime too to even make it taste like
$5 a bottle, Dave. $5 a bottle. You won't catch me dead drinking it.
Just take your 4X and put some mineral water in it, and you get Corona.
Yeah, booze aren't cheap down here. It's quite the opposite. However, I do have sunglasses. I will be playing this week. I've just got to figure out how to appease David here.
Yeah, you'll do it, man. I know you will.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I hope to catch you guys next week. I'm going to be in Japan as of Tuesday, so.
Cool. You gonna travel or just, work or fun?
Half and half.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Japan? My favorite place in the whole freaking world.
We'll be flying into Tokyo, and then busing out to sort of a small. It's out east. It's an area called Takayama.
Yeah. I love Japan. If I could move there tomorrow, I would in a heartbeat. It's my favorite country in the whole world. I've been
beautiful.
I've been a whole bunch of times. I love the culture. I love everything about it. It's just a great place.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I think I fell asleep. I slept like, I don't know, around 4 hours last night, and I'm still feeling good enough for 4 hours, but I think I need to.
Oh, you party animal, you.
No, it wasn't party. It was something which is, well, I couldn't sleep. I was laying for 3 hours in my bed like a stupid man. I don't know. Sometimes it's in my head.
I hear you.
Yeah. Too much computer and for too long, so. Okay, great. Was glad to see you guys. Evan, it was cool that you joined us.
I drop in when I can.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you. Love you.
So, thank you. Yep.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you next week, guys. Travel safe, Tim.
Thanks. Good night.